Abortion does not necessarily mean that you don't have conscience. There can be empathy in abortion.
A society that are accepted to legalize abortion, you have created a society where their mental space is filled with psychological entropy. I will tell you right away that this is a demonically oriented, sophisticated manipulation.
Criminalizing abortion is not going to stop women from having abortion. So abortion should be legalized in Nigeria.
A woman can get pregnant by any means. It could be through rape. It could be anything. Are you a woman, sir?
You had a child through rape, and so you feel that you have to terminate it. You don't have the moral justification to terminate that child. You kill your conscience and now spill innocent blood. No, I'm exasperated. I don't like that.
Part of my superpowers as a woman is that I can give life and I can take it.
Wow, you amaze me.
Wow. All right. Guys, welcome back. So this isn't actually a funny topic, but just that preview alone, it shows that this is going to be an interesting one. Almost 1 hour long. All right, so it's about abortion. So the current title for this video, because I know sometimes Cruise TV, they go back to update their titles, I guess for SEO purposes. But it is titled as Is Abortion Really Murder? So, and we have a panel of 6 people. 3 people are anti and 3 people are pro-abortion. So let's see what they have to say.
Here are the prompts we'll be discussing on today's episode. Please signify if you agree with the prompts. The first prompt is, abortion is murder.
I believe abortion is murder because there's no other way to explain it. There's a life growing in you and you decide to kill that child.
First of all, life begins at conception. The act of taking a human life is murder, and that is an anathema. That is a taboo.
Can you create a human being? If you can't create, so why then take a life? So abortion to me is murder.
I want to establish that for you to take human life, you should know that you have done something wrong. And every wrong comes with consequence. So I take a stand that abortion is very, very wrong. My name is Benaya CN. I am currently a teacher and a creative writer. We should understand the sanctity of human life. Abortion is a taboo. In short, it is an anathema. It's a crime against humanity. Abortion is morally wrong against God and against humanity.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
If you call abortion murder, then technically you're saying pulling out method is murder, wearing a protection is murder, because this is it. What is life? A thing that can feel, sense, think. The 5 senses works. That is what life is. Even a tree has that, apart from hearing. So now, how can you define the word abortion as taking a life? Something that has no conscience. It's a tissue growing in your body.
It's just fetus. It's not murder. It's so unreasonable to call abortion murder. I mean, when the mother finally gives birth and the child is living, the child is breathing, and you kill that child, that is murder. You should die for that. But it's still inside of me. I haven't given birth to that child. It is not murder.
Abortion is like you have a pencil and it has the eraser at the top. You clean your mistake. That is it. What's the point of bringing, for instance, you bring a child to this world that there's a whole lot of things wrong with it, and you do not even have the means to father or cater for that child. What do? Before it develops into that stage of being born as a person, you don't even let it come into this world at all.
For something that is still in the developmental stage, it is not even here yet. That is not murder. That cannot be murder.
What is life? I can see that from our arguments, the opponents, they don't know what life is. And I will have to define that. Life starts from conception. The question as to when human life begins is strictly a scientific question and should fundamentally be addressed by embryologists, human embryologists. Now, life begins when the spermatozoa, that is the sperm, meets the egg, fertilizes, and forms a zygote. Every living thing has their own definition. The definition of human being is that a complete human being must have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now, spermatozoa does not have 46 chromosomes. That is 23 pairs of chromosomes, which is structurally and chemically different from a zygote. Now, as long as there is pregnancy, it indicates that the spermatozoa, there was fertilization. You know what I mean? That is the spermatozoa and the ovum, they have met, giving a definition of human life. Now, touching that human life is tantamount to killing a human soul, which is another way to define murder.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Life starts the day the child is born. Because if life starts at fertilization, we should count the birthday from then. We shouldn't count the birth date from the date that the child was born.
When you break an egg and you fry it, and when you let an egg to hatch and you kill the chick,
No, it's
what's
different.
the difference?
Are you trying to compare?
No, I'm not
a
complete.
human
We are talking
life
about life.
to a chick?
It's life. We
They're
are talking
different.
about
To an egg.
life. No, excuse me. This is not one. It is not a comparison. It is life. We are not specifying. We are not pointing to say human life, animal life. No, it is what? Life. You break an egg, you fry it, you're happy, you've eaten. And then there's the egg that has hatched, and you bring the chicken and you break the neck.
Yes.
Which one seems more barbaric?
Brilliant. I compliment my friend, okay? I really compliment that, but I have to correct that too. Oh, I don't know where you don't expect, listen. Are you a human? No. Please, just calm down.
Life
calm
is
down.
life.
I marvel at your speech. I want to tell you the gravity of what you just vomited. Listen, you are a human being. Do you know yes, human life has its own sanctity? Do you know that? We have just ridiculed the human race. We can be defined as animals, fine. That is not the complete definition. We are higher animals by scientific definition. So our life cannot be compared from whichever perspective, whether from theological perspective or from a scientific perspective. Our life cannot be reduced to that of a chicken. Can you compare yourself with a chick?
Can I tell you something?
Please, let me ask you
You
a
are
question.
talking, excuse me, you are talking based on the country you are in. Do you know in abroad a chicken has rights? Are you aware?
Right to what?
Right.
Right what? Do you not know that?
No,
Your
no,
dogs
give me
have
the
rights,
example of
your
right,
cats
and I
have
will-
rights, your chickens have rights. You do not have any right to
Right
murder
to
them in
what?
your house.
Right to what?
whatever thing
You
it's
don't
on
have
that
rights.
earth. The moment they come there, if you're a vegetarian, you will know this. I am a vegetarian. That's why I used a chicken life to compare. Because Zuma was sanctioned because he kicked his cat. In Nigeria, they'll say because he kicked cats.
I think human life is overrated. Una go just die at the end of the day. No one. What's the essence? Human life, chicken life. The fact that you can carry your knife and kill a chicken and you don't feel remorseful about it, then you should not feel remorseful about aborting a child that has not even come to the world.
What she's saying is that she can take up a knife and kill a child, and it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I am saying that if you can carry your knife to kill a chicken or boil an egg or fry an egg that has not yet formed into a chicken, then you should not, since you don't consider that as murder, you should also not consider killing a fetus that has not yet formed into a whole human as murder.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Development is stage by stage. Human being has several stages, and none of these stages should be tampered with.
Yeah, I agree.
You kill your conscience and now spill innocent blood. No, I'm exasperated. I don't like that.
And it's funny to me.
What gives you that moral justification to take a human life just because you think it has
Now you
not
want to talk
developed?
about
A child
morals.
that can become a doctor
Where
tomorrow?
has morals gotten us?
No.
Where has morals gotten us?
Oh my God, when you ask some questions, I marvel. Let everybody do
You
the wrong
stand
thing.
right.
But if it's only one person doing the right thing, where has morals got it? Is moral wrong?
Okay, you made mention, you said a child that can become a doctor, right? Now, nobody has the right to terminate that future. Have you forgotten that the same way you think that child can become a doctor, that child, that pregnancy that you refuse to terminate can grow up to become a nuisance, to become a pain in the ass of the society, because the mother who had that pregnancy, who knew that she didn't have what it takes to give a child the best of life. So, but, because of your own selfishness, because you want to clear your own conscience, you don't care about the life of that child. Abortion does not necessarily mean that you don't have conscience. There can be empathy in abortion.
Nah, not
You
at all.
as a woman can get pregnant by any means. It could be through rape. It could be anything. Are you a woman, sir? Do you know what it takes to...
I'm a woman. Let me
Sorry,
answer that
excuse me.
question.
As a woman, you carry a child in your womb. You put your life on the line. Also, you do not know that one of the most dangerous things that a human being can embark on is giving birth to a child. Do you know how many pregnant women are dying? I'm not saying that it is wrong to have a child. I will have mine one day. It breaks my heart every time I see a child on the streets that don't have good quality of life. What are they doing here? You are bringing them to the world on the basis of it can become a doctor in the future. Do you know how many hooligans out there? Do you know how many nuisance? Do you know how many bad people out there that it's better that they were not born at all?
Thank you.
Okay. Personally, I plan to adopt as many children as I can. I will adopt and take care of it. See, you don't have to raise the child if you don't have what it takes to raise the child. You can give that child out. There are lots of people trying to have children and they can't have children. Then you are getting children back to back and you are killing them. They murder them because you feel that you can't give the child what you think that the child needs.
Have you thought about the aftermath of what happens to the lady that is pregnant?
That gets the abortion.
Exactly. What if she dies in the process? Have you thought of that? A friend of mine back then in school, this is what happened to her. We all, we try to convince her to keep the child. We even, talk to her, okay, we're going to help you financially, morally. I don't even mind you coming, staying with my parents. They will understand. They will take care of you. I talked to her. May her soul rest in peace. I pleaded with this girl. But she said no, that she can't stand the shame. She can't stand what people will say. And she went ahead to have this abortion. And she died in the process. I know what it took us to even break the news to the parents. What killed her? We can't even say.
First of all,
okay,
I empathize with you for your friend that died in the process of abortion. You see, things like this is why we need abortion to be legalized. We need, it should be everywhere. Like every health center, hospital, clinics, people should be trained to abort.
Please subscribe to the channel. My boss is literally going to sack me if we don't get to 100k subscribers in the first half of this year. Now, back to the show. Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Abortion is justified.
Okay, let me just go back. Oh, all right, guys. That is a lot to take in. So I try not to interrupt the debate while they are speaking so that everything can just flow properly. But I assume you guys have already seen the original show. So, wow. The first prompt is about abortion being murder or no, yes or no. Yeah, so it looks like the four women they have on the panel, they have, direct or indirect experience regarding abortion, whereas the men are just talking from a general standpoint. So the man in black, who is pro abortion, his points are definitely not valid. I'm pretty sure he has probably impregnated many women and he has told them to get an abortion just from the way he's speaking. And the man in the yellow t-shirt, um, I mean, he's just blowing grammar in English. Like, what's going on? And he seems very passionate about anti-abortion, and he probably will be one of those men who will get you pregnant, maybe get a bunch of women pregnant, tell them, hey, you don't need to do an abortion, I'll take care of the child, and then eventually he runs away. And the lady in the yellow hair wig, what have you, it looks like she might look like an anti-divorce person as well. She and the man in the yellow, because their thought processes, it doesn't, like, I'm just like, what? Wild, very wild. But yeah, so just to just quickly summarize my viewpoints on this. So I don't really have a side. So I'm more in the middle. So both sides have valid points. The anti and the pro, they both have valid points. In terms of abortion being murder, I don't have any opinion about that as well, because people are saying it's a human life, people are saying it's not a human life, it's just an organ growing in your body. You can take it or not, you can preserve it or not. So really, this is a touchy subject, and really, I don't have anything to contribute to it. But yeah, for the lady with the yellow hair whose friend died as a result of abortion, I think her friend probably went to a quack doctor, right? Because she said what she was in school, so I'm thinking high school or something. So she was probably a teenager, and she, was whatever money that she could afford, and she went to the cheapest doctor, and the cheapest doctor did very awful work. And I agree with the lady in red, with the cornrows. I really agree with her. So that's why abortion should be legalized, so that doctors will get the proper training, and then there will be funding. But at the same time, it's kind of tricky, because then people would abuse it and use it as like plan B, when really that shouldn't be the case. But eventually, you guys will get more understanding from this. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about this, because both sides, they have valid points regarding whether abortion is murder or not. But I wish they had a doctor, a nurse, a gynecologist, a social worker, a teacher. Oh, okay, so he's a teacher, I think, the guy in the yellow. But somebody who deals with pregnant women, who deals with babies, and who deals with children. I wish they had somebody like that on the panel, and then maybe the debates would have been more intellectual. Okay, let's move on.
Prompt. Abortion is justifiable in situations of rape and incest.
I have never been raped before,
Thank God.
but I do have a friend that was raped, and then she was pregnant from it. By myself, I followed her to go and remove that child, because I know deep down that she will never, on no account, love the child. If she heals from the trauma, it's going to take time. When she would finally learn to practice self-love enough to be able to share that love with that child, she would have damaged the child. A damaged child then grows up to become a dangerous man, and then damages another female child, who grows up to be another dangerous woman that damages another male child, and the cycle continues. So yes, abortion for rape, for incest, and for many other reasons. Thank you.
Okay, so even though I mentioned that I try not to pause, but what you said here, it's kind of, I'm like on the fence. But then again, I mean, she probably just summarized the whole situation about the friend getting raped and getting pregnant from it. So there are some women who actually go ahead with the pregnancy, they give birth to the child, and then they end up loving the child. But she said something about knowing deep down that the friend wouldn't love the child. Now, there are cases whereby a woman gives birth to a child in under the institution of marriage, love, everything, gives birth, and maybe there's like some sort of a conflict between the woman and the husband, and now the woman now is now like releasing anger, frustration on the child, and it looks like they hate their own child that they gave birth to, and this woman wasn't raped. And you also have women like Helen Paul's mom, who gave birth to her because her mother was raped. And then she went along with the pregnancy, she gave birth, and she had Helen Paul. Now, I don't know Helen Paul, I don't know her childhood, but I don't know if it's something that she's just hiding or she just, sweeping under the rugs, but it doesn't seem like she had a terrible childhood, at least upbringing. And it looks like her mother and her auntie, so meaning the mother and the mother's sister, I think twin sister, they helped raise Helen Paul. So there are cases like that whereby a woman was raped or what have you, and then gives birth to the child, raises the child well, and the child turns out good, right? So her assuming or predicting that the child will hate, that the woman who got raped will hate her own child, not love the child, and then the child will grow up messed up, and then the child will end up being a nuisance in the society. That's just, to me, that's just like, are you God? Like, how would you even know what's going to happen in the future? And so she followed her to get an abortion. So I don't know if she was the one who convinced the friend, which I think that's just out of bounds. So, or maybe the friend wanted to get an abortion, and so she supported her friend, and she went along with her friend because her friend told her, okay, if I have this child, I will hate this child, and so I need to do this, I need your help, I need your support. Then that's a different story than for her to just impose her own beliefs on somebody else, right? But anyway, that's just what I wanted to say. So it's not a one size fits all. There are children who were born into loving families, but they grew up being a nuisance, right? It's the nature nurture situation. But let's keep going.
Whoever that person was that raped you, you don't even know the lineage. You don't even know if now A, AS, SS. You don't even know. The only thing you know is you. So why would you even keep a child that is coming from rape?
Our friend got pregnant through rape. Things like this happens a lot. You're coming from a dysfunctional family. Now you got raped. Now you have this child. You are angry. You know that rape now is not you. You could even be a virgin and you get raped. All the pain that you are bringing, all the trauma, you are looking at that child. You are putting all of your pain on an innocent child that could have just gone jeje. If I was not here as a human being, what difference would it make?
Oh my God.
Yes, society would continue.
True. True.
It's a choice to keep a child. If my mom did not make that choice for me to be here, I won't be.
I'm also of the opinion that abortion reduces poverty rate, especially in this Nigeria.
It does.
Because the cost of bringing a child to the world
I mean, what SMA
and
gold is about
training a
25,000.
child is not a joke. If you can avoid it,
Exactly.
then please do.
Please do.
That way, how much? Your salary, your 200,000 naira salary will be enough for you to buy a few things. without you going over the board or whatever. It reduces poverty rate. It should be legalized.
Can the disagreeers?
What? Let me check this. Yeah, what? Okay, wow. That's a new one. Abortion reduces poverty rate. What? I mean, countries like China with 2 billion people, like, they're not even talking about abortion reducing poverty rate. Yes, I know, like, they had a reform whereby they were making people to just have one child and then two and now three. But what? I mean, it's all about the government providing the resources that the people need to actually raise a child and nurture a child properly. The resources are there. So having multiple children, I mean, multiple children or one or two kids, I don't see how that will reduce poverty. And it shouldn't be abortion that should reduce poverty rate. It should be birth control, contraceptives for both men and women. This, I'm surprised this wasn't even brought up. It's abortion, 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 abortion. Why don't you just prevent the issue from the very beginning? Or just abstinence? Like, what happened to that? Right? So let's say abortion reduce poverty rate. I don't I don't understand that. But really, what those people who are living under the poverty line should be doing is to practice safe sex, use contraceptives. I mean, that's even way cheaper. It's way cheaper than paying a quack doctor for abortion or having to buy clothes or begging people for money for your child. Just prevention is way cheaper. It's way cheaper than abortion because what?
Now speak.
I disagree strongly. I feel a child from rape is the same as a child from a sperm bank. Yes. If I'm 30, no. Telu Kambia. If I'm
now.
30,
Let her make her
and I
point.
feel like, okay, okay, I'm 40, I don't have a child, I have a good job, or I'm just doing okay, and I want a child because in Nigeria, children are like, what do you call it, insurance, yeah? And I want a child, I can go to a sperm bank, artificial insemination, and have my baby. It's the same thing with rape. Wait, then
What?
if peradventure you were raped, because she keeps saying financial, you were raped and you don't have the financial ability to train that child, give that child out.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yes.
You keep saying give that child out
Give
like there's
that
a
child-
call.
I know a
We
lot
have
of
Legalized
people
babies homes that
don't
is
have
still
kids.
filled up. You say give
Yeah.
that to who?
Give that child, bring the child
To
to me.
who?
To me.
Presently, as we speak, we have a whole lot of motherless baby homes. No one has picked the ones that are there. They are still there. Like they keep multiplying. You see a child on the street, you take he or she there. There is no call for any woman that doesn't want her child should call this number. No one wants to raise another person's child. You don't even know what the father stands it. You don't even know what the father's life was like. You don't even know what the mother's life is. So I'm not in support of that at all. Mine is, you cannot handle it. You are not ready for it. You get rid of it.
You keep saying dysfunctional family. I put this to you here and now. We are all from dysfunctional family. You see,
What?
we all wear clothes and be like, oh my God, oh my God. If we put those oh my God down and say the truth, we are all dysfunctional.
Yes.
Now, another problem we have is why we don't want to have kids. We feel like I can't give the child the best. What did your papa give you when you take their life?
Oh, so I should
What
give my
are you
child
talking
the
about?
bare minimum.
We all assume that we know what's best for the child. Ow! You are not God. You don't know tomorrow. See, I was born with nothing. My family,
Okay.
we see shaggy. But today we're all doing well.
Can I ask you a question? So now you should just keep multiplying because of 50-50.
50-50. You are bringing
Children are blessing. No matter how they come, cherish them, nurture them, allow them to come to this world. They did not commit any offense. They did not
What?
nothing to you. They didn't even ask you to go and have sex. So allow them to just come and know what they will be in the future. I don't believe that because you were raped, you should, kill a child in that regard. Let the child comfort. Then leave the rest for God.
Now, the question is, for whatever action you do, any sane mind, the reason that justifies your action is what to try to check. Now, you had a child through incest. You want to abort the child. What have you achieved? What has happened has happened. You just want you to prove that, man, I am up to life. I'm going to give back I'm going to surprise life.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Who are you proving
now,
to?
Yourself.
Yes. That you are
How will you
strong.
prove to yourself? What are you proving?
No.
Now, what are you proving?
Proof in this context is determination. If you don't know this.
Determination is I
Now,
will
let
climb
me
here.
come to
Proof
is
is
let me
I won't
come-
show these guys how I climb here. There are different things.
No.
Mm-mm. Continue.
I want you to understand the meaning of my proof through the context. Okay? You had a child through rape. And so you feel that you have to terminate it. If you check the reasons surrounding all these things, you know that you don't have the moral justification to terminate that child. First of all, I want to tell you that what you cannot give, you cannot take. And what you cannot take, you cannot give.
Part of my superpowers as a woman is that I can give life and I can take it.
At will, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
One.
You must be goddess.
Two, earlier, you said that aborting a child that you got from rape is also like going for sperm, something, collecting sperm.
Not
and
abortive, keeping a child.
Sorry. It's like, no, you don't understand the meaning of rape. Rape is forceful penetration.
Yeah.
Your artificial insemination is you carrying your two left
Willingly.
leg like this.
You want the
Yeah,
baby.
you want it. By yourself. You thought, babe, I am ready. Now, my love, if you are ready to get married and you met a woman that you really love, and when you finally visited your bride-to-be's home, you realized that she is a girl that enjoys making love to her father to the extent that she has a child for her father. Would you continue with the marriage? Will it not shake you?
Why I will not answer that question is that it doesn't have much relevance to the issue on ground.
Yes, and rape.
No, it's out of context.
It's not out of context. Maybe when she said she was in the world, she enjoyed, making love to her father or her cousin, and then she had a child. Now she has given her life to Christ, and she wants to settle down. You that I'm looking at with your glasses, will you accept?
Are we talking about marriage here or abortion?
This is going to be the aftermath
Of that
If she
child
keeps
that you kept.
child, this is the aftermath.
Concentrate on the child,
If
not
you are
marriage.
about to get married, let's not even use that one. If you are about to get married to a child whose mother is a daughter to her father,
If we,
would you continue?
it's termination of marriage, termination of human life.
We should have terminated that human life so that marriage will not happen.
Wow.
Wow, you amaze me.
Abortion should be legalized in Nigeria.
Number one, criminalizing abortion.
Oh, okay. Let's go back a little bit. Wow. Wow. This is something else. Let me check this to make sure it's on. Oh my God. Yeah, this is just something else, guys. This is something else. So, abortion is justifiable in situations of rape and incest. Okay. So, the only thing that I can point out is the lady with the head wrap with the curly hair. Her justification, comparison between artificial insemination and rape, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, does she even know what rape is? Like, somebody forcefully violated you. Like, it's not only the trauma you have to deal with from that incident. It's the fact that, for the next 9 months, you are being reminded constantly. And then when you have that child, for the rest of your life, you are being reminded constantly. It's not something whereby somebody will just preach to you, oh, forgive and forget. It's in the past. Just move on with your life. It's like, how can I forgive and forget when I'm carrying this thing inside of me? It's changing my body, it's changing my mood, changing my attitude. And then when I eventually gave birth, it was such a traumatic experience. I almost died. I was in the hospital many days. I spent a lot of money on that hospital bills, and now more money raising this child versus artificial insemination. Okay, I'm 30, I'm 35, I'm still not married yet. I'm 40, not married yet, or I've been married for 20 years. Now I'm 40 years old. I don't have a child yet. So let me go and get artificially inseminated because I can't get pregnant by myself. Like, how is that? Like, how did they even compare? And she said something about it, like, if you don't want the child, just give the child to an orphanage. You know how many children are still in many orphanages around the world? Some of them, they spend their whole lives in the orphanage, or some of them they are adopted and then they are sent back for behavioral issues. And for children who are a little bit older, so maybe their parents kept them and then after a few years they couldn't take care of them anymore, they they actually had to donate those kids to those orphanages. And now those kids are like 12, 13, 14 years old. Nobody wants a teenager because teenagers have traumas they're dealing with. Can you imagine having your own father, your mother, grandparents, everybody rejecting you? Now you're in this place with a bunch of other random people, right? Like, the behavior of that child is different from the behavior of a normal child living in a loving family. Now, nobody wants to adopt teenagers or preteens. Now, those children are there. So she said something about adopting as many as possible. Why haven't you adopted one, right? Because it looks like she doesn't have any kid and um she hasn't adopted any child so far. So you're going to adopt as many kids as possible. Why haven't you adopted even one? Let's say you can adopt one a year. Now, adoption processes very difficult and super expensive depending on the country. Some countries, it's like you have to bribe so many officials, you have to do so many crazy things, and it takes years. It's frustrating, like, meaning you really have to be desperate to have this child for you to actually go through the mental gymnastics you have to go through to adopt that one child. Now, who's gonna do that? And also, like, I mean, like, you have to be married. Like, they have all these criterias in many parts of the world to adopt a child. So, and yeah, talking about rape and incest, again, I don't really have much to say. Abortion is justifiable. Of course, yeah. If somebody raped you or what have you, and you want to go get an abortion, yeah, definitely, right? Definitely, it's something that should be done without any questions. And then whoever committed that act of rape should be brought to justice. But we are talking about Nigeria here, right? Like, who's gonna go through that stress or and also spending money to get somebody arrested? And you're gonna have people coming to your house to beg for forgiveness. Oh, in the Bible, God said this. God said this. Forgive and forget. We're so sorry. This and that. Move on with your life. It will be well. Now, this man in this yellow t-shirt, he couldn't even answer. The knows he will never partake in anything like that, whereby you're about to marry a woman who has a child, but okay, you're okay with her having a child, that's okay. But hey, actually, this child, it belongs to my father. So, like, we both share the same father. It's like he knows he wouldn't take part in it, but it's very easy to just say things, to just speak, very easy. But let's move on to the next prompt.
me.
Abortion should be legalized in Nigeria.
Number one, criminalizing abortion is not going to stop women from having abortion. Let that one sink in first. In fact, make the rule that if you terminate a fetus in your womb, you are dying by the sword. It will still not stop people from having abortion. Now, you saying that abortion should not be legalized, then you're saying that the woman or the girl child of the Nigerian society does not have fundamental human rights to her own body. And since we already know that abortion will happen, people will have unprotected sex, even when we scream that, oh, this, that, why not give a legal and safe measure of evacuating or aborting these babies to reduce the death rate of mothers when they remove the baby? Why not save them from now going to the quack doctors that will now do it for 5K, 10K, and then they will not have complications, they will not die? Why can't a young girl that wants to remove a baby walk to the hospital, fill the form, speak to the doctor or the gynecologist or whoever, tell he or she why she wants to have the abortion? She has the abortion successfully, and the Nigerian whatever constitution even sends her blood tonic and send her for group therapy so that she heals from the emotional pain that follows.
Exactly. And it's simple. It's like...
So abortion should and must be legalized in Nigeria. Thank you.
It should be legalized because the rate at which we reproduce is the reason why almost everything is not enough. But imagine a state whereby, just like going to the chemist and then you meet the person, then you go into the pharmacy and you meet the chemist and be like, "Boy, what's up? I just need a drug for abortion." And it's just, okay, take this one, two nights, 2 days. They write everything and then it's normal.
Without stigmatizing you.
Control. Instead of saying, what is this? What? There's no one that is going to say, this thing you're doing is wrong.
If a woman deems it fit that she wants to be, that is because she knows that she can take care of that baby. And if a woman is telling you, I cannot have this child, I'm not fit to be a mother, then nobody should be looking at her like she's crazy. Government should please help legalize abortion. And if it is legalized, people should be trained. Like, people should be, experts should be going to churches, they should be going to schools, they should be going to places, gatherings, teaching women as to, making them see the reason that, you know what, if you know within yourself that bringing this life, you don't have what it takes to nurture it, to be a positive influence to the society, please, what about this option? Women should, it should be a normal thing. Stop shaming women, stop stigmatizing them, stop making them feel like they are the most useless person because they have chosen to abort or they choose to abort.
I also want to add that not every man can be a mechanic. The same way, not every woman is designed to be a mother. The fact that we have breasts and ass and hips does not mean we all are designed to be mothers. Motherhood is not for everybody. If we legalize abortion in Nigeria, we also help reduce the poverty rate, because there are a lot of people who cannot afford to take care of themselves, yet they bring forth more children to the world, hoping that one child will become a president and save the rest of the 15 from poverty, which is a very stupid mentality, if I must say. And at the end of the day, life is about how we died. What is now the essence of bringing that life that we end up dying?
Can the disagreeers now speak?
If there is wrong and you give instruction with regard to that wrong, not to do it, if everybody in this world does that wrong, does it make that wrong, right? Because she said that even if they criminalize abortion, that they will still do it. Does it mean that, does it make abortion now because everybody is stubborn? Are you justifying the stubbornness of the people? That is one. Now, understand, my dear, that when you say you have the right as a lady to remove anything from your body, please understand that a lady does not have spermatozoa. What formed in your body came from a different member of your species.
Me, I no get egg.
Such, you don't have the right to remove.
I
You
no
can
get
remove
egg.
your fingernails.
I no
I'm
get egg.
coming. You can remove your fingernails, okay? You can do whatever with your body. I like the way you specify with your body. But that thing you are removing is not just your body.
Is it not my egg? Is it not my
Okay.
egg?
Now, fine. I like that question.
Inside my pouch.
Okay, fine.
Inside my stomach.
Fine. This takes
Taking
us.
my blood.
Okay, now.
Sharing my
I
food.
like that. Now, let me answer you from a scientific perspective. Now, the product of spermatogenesis is that once you do this, it will create a society whereby individuals, including teenagers, will be carried. In short, the society will be polluted.
Yeah.
Okay, it gives, it frees the teenagers that consciousness, that fear of doing. You now free their mind. Abortion is okay. So even the reasons they have, their conscience does not prick them again. They are not guilty again. I can remove, so they can justify it. After all, it's removable. You know that abortion leaves the victim with trauma. We were talking the other day that you can remove it because rape has trauma. It has tragedy. Do you know that the tragedy of rape plus the tragedy of removing it, you are talking about double tragedy.
Yeah.
You didn't even consider the other
But
one.
can you compare
Now, I'm
it
coming. I will
So the
land.
trauma that happens,
Now,
the trauma that will
does
become
not
a
remove the fact
cycle.
that there is trauma.
You are
We are
not
only
looking
talking
at the
about levels of trauma.
aftermath.
A society that are accepted to legalize abortion. You have created a society, insane society, where their mental space is filled with psychological entropy. A depressed society.
Do we know that for every life that you take, you have shortened your lifespan? Are you aware of that?
Well,
Can you prove it?
You don't know.
Can you prove it?
You don't know.
Can you prove
Prove
it?
it,
Because you're
please.
taking a life, you don't know.
Can you prove
Prove
it?
it that one first. You,
Can you prove it? Yes or
prove
no?
it. I can
With
prove
what?
it.
With what?
I can prove it. Can you Google it? Can you Google it? For every life you take, you have like for
have to
every
Google
life you
it.
take, you have taken 5 years out of your life.
This
Like
is Tales
you
Babulite.
want to live for
This is
45
Tales
years. You're
Babulite.
living.
Don't worry.
It's not
Don't worry.
tales.
This is Tales
I'm
Babulite.
telling
Don't
you
worry. I don't want to stress
reality.
it.
It's
What is
not
the reality of what you
tales.
just said?
You,
What is the reality of what you
need to
just said? Do you know what reality
You
means?
need to read.
Read what?
You need to read
Read
so that you
what?
understand. You
Oh,
need
no.
to read. When I was doing my 1 year IT at River State, so I met this family. The husband, he deals with local roots. He helps people cure them, their sickness and all. I think he also do this local abortion. We were just conversing. I was just conversing with the wife. She told me that she has had 20 abortions. And I was like, and you're still alive. He said, it's by the grace of God. So that was now when the husband had been like, he was like, she did those things when she didn't know the implications, but I don't think she's going to walk through that line again because for every abortion she commits, she's removing 5 years of her life. And I was like, oh, wow. So why don't you people preach it? So that was the reason I had to just bring it up,
Excuse
Let
me.
me also
what? Oh my God! What? Superstitions. Oh my God! How is it possible for somebody to do 20 abortions? Because I mean, I've never had an abortion, so I don't know. But eventually, you guys will learn more from this video. But from what I'm hearing, is that abortion is not like, hey, I haven't used the bathroom in days. Constipated, so let me go take Pepto Bismol and I'll go sit on the toilet, and then eventually I will feel lighter, and then I can have a regular bowel movement. Abortion is it's a really painful and life-threatening procedure. It's it's not beans. So how is it possible for somebody to have 20 abortion? I mean, that means number one, that woman is very fertile. Number one. Number two, it's like, what? How is that even possible? Now, I know there are some women who have done multiple abortions, which I think is very risky. And those women, I think, should be brought to justice because it's like, what? And so she said something about removing 5 years. So that woman, she had 20 abortions, removed 5 years. So that means already she had already taken 100 years from her life. 100 years from her life. So meaning, meaning, I I can't even finish talking. So meaning, this woman should have been dead before her mother even conceived of her. Because how many people actually live to 100? How many people actually live till 100? So let's say she is given the opportunity to live to 110 years old. So that means she should have died since when she was like 10 years old. Oh my what? Anyway, yeah, so let's continue.
Say something that he said that we no longer have a conscience, like we don't have conscience, like we can just do anything at will. If it's something good, why didn't the government legalize even before we were born? Have you asked yourself? Because they know the disadvantages. There is a saying in my Igbo adage, "Arụrụ ala gba afọ, ọwụ omenala." Like when evil becomes like it's what they do every time, it becomes a norm.
Normal thing, yeah.
Like, where is our conscience?
A lot of girls are still sane or they're still abstaining from premarital sex because they know that if they get pregnant, they're in trouble. So just imagine telling every girl, we're talking about every girl, including the one that is 10 years old, that you can have an abortion. When I was in school, I was already in my 3rd year. My friend got pregnant. In my 3rd year, I was still a virgin. So I don't even know plenty things. But I had this friend that was doing D&C like there's no tomorrow. So I went to meet her down, took us to the place. I escort, and she had the abortion. The very next month, my friend was pregnant again. Auntie, what happened? She said, condom, no, they sweet. Egg by me. So why you can't let me go through? Because see, escorting somebody to do a D&C has its own trauma, its own pain,
But you
its
chose
own
to do it
regret.
anyway.
Do you understand?
That
So
means
why did you
carrier of the
decide?
guilt.
Yes, I carried that guilt for months. Till tomorrow is still paying me, not even months. Yes, because till tomorrow is still paying me. My name is Sarah Chika Olaya. I'm a certified beautician. Somebody I know, she aborted an 8-month-old pregnancy. I don't know how that is not murder. Till today, I've not been able to get my head around it. And I know a lot of people that have aborted pregnancy and they're still living in regrets. I had a friend that once said to me a couple of years ago, and she was like, if I had kept that baby, it would have been in university by now.
Condom, no, the sweet Ajay.
Wow.
Then you born the pikin. Born am.
Wait. What is the essence?
born am.
Wait now. What is the essence of licking sweets with the nylon when you can just take it without the nylon? It's very simple. However, let's come back. You are talking about the fact that if we legalize abortion, then we are turning the society into an insane society.
Yes.
Let the insane tell the sane that they were once sane too. And tell the sane that it is normal, absolutely normal to be insane. Because being sane in an insane society is in itself insanity.
No,
we are
I
already in
disagree.
an insane society.
Yes.
And they are still
Let
saying
us
in the
Let
society.
us
just
talk.
manage it. If we do not legalize it, there will still be premarital sex.
Yes.
There will still be unprotected sex. Because
Yes.
between me and you, condom no dey sweet. There will still be abortion.
Burn the pikin.
How about we just make it better? We have condom, we have pills, we have insertion methods, we have a whole lot that will not even affect you if you've not even had any child before. There are a lot of all these, what's it called, that you can also use as a single lady or as a single man. We are going to tell them about these things because we also don't want them to go through the trauma that abortion will put them into. But bear in mind that the trauma that they will go through after giving birth, even a married woman that gives birth also goes through trauma, and it is bigger than the trauma of abortion. I can tell you that for free. Why not just educate them along?
Education.
Carry the society
Exactly.
and tell them, okay, tó bá tiẹ̀ wá ṣẹlẹ̀ tán, we offer you this neat, clean way of removing it. And we will not stigmatize you. I have a dream. Maybe. I am not sure. The fact that we are still talking about it in this year, the fact that it has still not been legalized in this year, it makes me think maybe our society is not dealing with what it's supposed to deal with. This is an issue that they should have already, settled long before my generation.
We are not saying abortion is enjoyable. We are not saying abort as you like. No. Because abortion is not only teenage girls that gets an unwanted pregnancy. Even married women get unwanted pregnancy. Some already have 3 kids. The husband and wife are already struggling to take care of these children. Yes. And then another one comes and, so we are not saying that society should start going mad and people should start aborting everywhere. That's not what we are saying. We are saying that let women have the option of aborting if they know that they do not have what it takes to give this child a quality life. You are not a woman, so maybe damn.
Okay.
Abortion in itself traumatizes you as a lady. So it's not a flex. The fact
even the person that escorts person to abort is traumatized.
It's not a flex.
Your reasons for justifying a thing is what counts. You cannot legalize abortion because the reason for whoever wants to abort is not substantial enough.
I'm sorry, I won't even take this from you because you're a man.
No. You gave an example now. You gave an example that you cannot. You know that you cannot.
The fact that you're even saying as a man that a woman not wanting to keep a child is not substantial enough, sir.
No.
What?
Of course, ignorance should not justify wrong. That you don't know the way to deal with something does not justify. There are people that have been in that and they have taken steps to do all this.
Do you know that there are women who give birth to a child, right? Then they do away with that child. Maybe they dump the child somewhere, or they sell the child somewhere, or they do something postpartum depression. Do you know that there are women who do that? Because they cannot, they are not mentally fit.
Before that lady dumped that child, did she meet a psychologist? No. Let's go. I want to hit your ignorance. No. Any person that does that, they were pieces of information that the person lacked, and that should not justify why she did that. It's ignorance. There is pressure on the government to legalize abortion, but the pressure is not what you should use to consider taking away human life. So I think the reasons are on ground. They are not substantial enough to approve abortion. That is why up till now, Nigeria will never legalize abortion.
It's okay for the biological father to insist on or dictate the keeping of a child.
This is going to be interesting.
Any man that dictates that a child should be kept, I think we are lucky to have a sane man.
True.
That does not mean a woman should not say, okay, after considering whatever, now dictates means that maybe the woman wants the child to be terminated, but he stands on his ground and says, no, this child must be kept. I give kudos to that man.
If a man is saying, yes, keep this child, then as a woman, I think you should. Because he's definitely going to be there for you. Do you understand? Yes, he's definitely going to be there to take care of the child with you. So he's trying to say you are not alone. Keep this child.
He has the right to tell you what to do. Please keep my child. I don't want you to. Yes, he has the right to dictate.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
The man cannot dictate if the pregnancy should be kept or aborted. That word dictates already is taking out the fact that he is not the one to carry that life. Women are the primary caregiver of children. The man can have a say. Nobody is taking that. But the woman plays a major role in the keeping of the child, the well-being of the child. She's the cook, she's the nurse, she's the teacher. She's the primary person in that child's life. So she is the number one person to determine if she wants to keep that child. Childbirth is one of the most dangerous things humans do. And only women give birth to kids. So a man cannot dictate. You can have a say. If you are giving birth to a child, you are literally hanging your life 50-50. You could die out of it. Many people die out of it.
I got pregnant when I was 16, and my boyfriend said no. He was not ready for, a child. I was in 100 level. But you see, I'm from a Christian home. I have the Christian/Yoruba training in my subconscious. I kept the child. I got the support of my mother, of my nuclear family. I kept the child. We went to look for this guy's family. He said no, that he had told me to abort his child. And so they did not, give us any respect or anything. They just told us to go. My son is 7 years old now. He has never met his father. Every day, I wish two things. That I listened to him to abort the child. And at the same time, I wish that he looks at me and say, let's keep this child. Because at the end of the day, I am so proud to have this child. He is almost like the best thing in my life right now. At times, I even feel like I don't deserve him because he's like super brilliant and the likes. Where am I driving my point? If I had a man that said, girl, we are keeping this, we are doing this, maybe I wouldn't go through all of the pain. Maybe I would have had a hand to hold me through the trauma. There was the postnatal trauma. There were the times that I wanted to kill myself. There were the times I wanted to kill my child. Yeah, I was 16, like I said. I was in uni. I was in 100 level, as a matter of fact. They were just to understand what the whole thing was. And there was the complication after birth, because they had to cut me out to get the baby. And I had a lot of complications from it. Now, I went into therapy. I have healed from all of the trauma. I have fallen in love again. I want to settle down. This man proposed, a new man, and I could not accept because I realized that I now have secondary infertility due to the complications from the birth of my child. When a woman goes through childbirth, it is more painful than abortion. Let me tell you that. My doctor told me that I was going through the biggest pain on earth. I don't think a man should dictate to me to go through the biggest pain on earth. But I would have appreciated if I had that hand leading me the way the society expects that the man leads the woman. I didn't say it would have been easy if the father of my baby was present, but we would have shared the burden. Psychologically, emotionally, sexually, in so many ways. Trust me. If I am to go through all of that trauma, all of that pain, then the man should not dictate it.
Okay, you're speaking from
A place of pain.
I understand.
Yes.
A place of pain.
Wait, let me speak from that exact same thing. You know the problem we have in this country now, is all this independent woman. Nobody can talk to me. Nobody can tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. That's
I
the
can do it on my
problem
own.
women have now. Why will nobody be able to tell you what to do? Who are you? Let me speak from that same pain. I had an abortion and I was depressed for years. I almost killed myself. Do you understand? I wished I had died. Do you understand? So that depression, that pain, that anger, that resentment, you can ask them whether you decide to have the child or not. After having an abortion, for months I was depressed. I was seeing things. I can just see some children playing on the street and I'll start crying. It was that bad. The trauma, it's way beyond how people see it.
Without a man, would you have the child?
Listen, that's not what we are saying.
That's
Are you
what I'm
getting
saying.
it? We don't have the child, so he has equal right, as same as you.
Equal rights
So
different
if
from
he tells you to
dictate.
keep, that is
Equal rights is different from dictate. See.
Oh God,
Do you know what equal rights is?
With the rights, he can actually dictate
Excuse me.
because
No,
the
no, no,
child
no, no,
belongs
no,
to
no, no,
him.
no.
That
You
is
know
what I
you know
want
what
you
the
to
dictatorship
understand.
is?
Hey,
Against
the person is
your
telling
will.
you what you should do with his baby. That is what I'm trying to make you understand.
Growing inside of you.
Exactly.
Growing inside of you.
He put the baby.
A man should have a say, but should not dictate what a woman wants to do with the pregnancy in her, because it's not him taking the child, it's not him going to the labor room, it's not him that is going to pass through that pain. The only thing a man will pass through is the bills, the hospital bill, and that is the man that even wants to keep the child.
Does he also have the right to tell you, please abort this child? I don't have what it takes to be a father.
Are we talking about aborting the child or keeping
We
the
are
child?
saying the same thing.
You are talking about an equal say. We are talking dictating.
What is the
When
difference?
Dictating is saying you have no say.
You don't have a say.
No, you
That's
are
what
just,
a
you are just
dictatorship
a
is.
vacuum. Do you know what dictatorship means? You have no say.
You have no
My
say.
word is
Why won't
law.
you have a say?
That is what
That's
we
what
are saying.
dictator is.
Have you seen a fanatic before? Something you believe in with your total life, you can 100% stand on your ground because the full proof is there that this is right. There are other connotative meanings of dictating. Do you understand? But the one in context here is that I tell you that I am 100% sure that this thing I'm telling you, baby, is right. It's coming out of a man that have understood the gravity and consequences of abortion. So say, baby, no, I'm sorry, but this one, we are going to keep this baby. So he has the right to dictate in that context.
Nonsense. A man should not dictate to a woman what to bring to the world or what not to bring. A man should not even dictate to a woman at all. Yeah, nonsense. I'm not saying do not suggest or come to terms, talk together. The word dictate just takes, everything off the point. Say, for instance, if the man says you must remove it when the woman wants to keep it, or the man says you must keep it when the woman wants to remove it.
When I tell you what is right, and it's obvious that it is right, if you agree with me, fine, we don't do it with issues, we don't raise voice. I've not removed your right to be part of the consensus. But when something is 100% right, and you said no, so a man should insist that abortion should not be heard of, not to talk of his wife doing the abortion. So when he insists and the woman calls it dictating, so be it, as long as life is not taken.
You know that reservoir of water, yeah? Both of us are to fill it up. He pours in a bucket, and I pour in 50 buckets to fill the rest. Did we put in the same effort?
No.
That is what you're saying when you say a man that pull sperm in an enjoyable, in a pleasurable way, has the same right or more right to dictate to a woman that now goes through all of the process, the growing, the body changes, the pain in the nipple. Have you given birth before? Oh, no, you have not. Good. Me, I was in labor for 5 days, so understand it now. The labor, the sewing back, the whole process after giving birth, the sleepless night, it is not the same. Do you get it now?
I don't.
There are enough resources to raise a child in Nigeria.
Oh my gosh. Even though this debate, it's a very serious debate. But I'm just laughing because it's laughable. Wow. So it's about a man dictating to a woman or insisting about keeping the child. So this is actually probably the only prompt that I actually take a side on. The others, I'm like in the middle, like the gray area. And this scenario, yeah, it's a no, it's a complete no, because like the woman, what they've just explained is that it's the woman who has to carry the burden of the pregnancy, of the childbirth, and also raising the child. Usually, the responsibility falls on the woman. Yeah, we might say, well, the man will provide for the child financially. But then, really, when it comes to everything else, the woman is the one involved. And if the relationship doesn't work out, if a few years later on the man decides to go his own way, usually the burden falls on the woman. And there are many cases whereby, even in a marriage, when the man decides to go his own way, in many cases, the man forgets everybody, the wife, the children, everybody. He doesn't call in to check in, he doesn't go to visit, he doesn't send money, he doesn't. So the financial part that many men try to argue, that is not even there anymore. So now guess who is now taking care of that child that the man insisted on keeping? Right? Now, I've heard of cases whereby the woman gets pregnant and the woman wanted to have the abortion because she wasn't ready. She's not married to this man. They weren't together or what have you. And then the man and the woman, they both have a discussion whereby the man says, hey, you know what? I completely agree with you, but where we're from, we don't do abortion, or I personally don't believe in abortion. So how about you give birth to this child and you give the child to me? I actually know of somebody who did that, right? So the man raised the son by himself, right? So he was a single father. There are cases like that, right? So if the man tells you, or he has the discussion of, hey, you know what, just give me the child, I will take care of the child financially, emotionally, physically, everything, then that could be a discussion that they can have. Or sometimes I know of somebody who got a girl pregnant, and then they still went ahead with the pregnancy, and so they had a discussion, and so they had joint custody. So the child will come to his house, play with him and his mother, so the child's grandmother, and then the child goes back to the uh, mom's house. So there are cases like that whereby, the man and the woman, if they are not married, they have that discussion, and then everything is settled, and then the woman, can go ahead with the pregnancy and know that she's not alone, right? But then having to dictate to somebody to keep the child when the person, obviously they don't want to keep the child, and you're not offering any solution, you're not offering any assurance, no guarantee, nothing, just because that's your child, just because you're a man, you have no case there. But let's listen to this last prompt.
Nigeria. Since no one agrees, can all the disagreeers now speak?
Nigeria is a developing country. It's not possible
After
that there
many
will be
years.
enough resources to take care of a child. It's not possible. As in, it's not possible. Taking care of a child is not only financial. It takes a whole lot to take care of a child. So, and remember, we're all damaged goods, whether we like it or not.
I'm not damaged, though, I beg.
Whether you agree or not,
No,
it's
no, 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 no.
nobody's
You cannot
business.
say we are all.
You see, in parenting, there's no manner for parenting. We take a bit from the church, a bit from the street, a bit from our parents, a bit from our environment, and most times we end up damaging our children. So there's no manual for this is the right way. So most times we just find out that we are damaged. Even if you have the financial know-how to take care of a child, what about the spiritual? What about the mental? Do you understand? So in Nigeria, no, we don't.
Raising a child in Nigeria, be you the rich or the poor, it's not easy. Part of the poor, there are certain things that you can't afford, or your parents can't afford as a child when you're growing up. And then when you go to the rich side, we now have peer pressure. There are things that you can afford, which it's not supposed to be taken at your age.
Resources in the hands of the mighty, and these people are not willing to relinquish it to the masses. So it's just few people that have this wealth. So it's very difficult, especially when you are coming from a poor background.
Let's put aside financial or whatever. Taking care of a whole human is not a child's play. It's not something you just dabble into. Even if you are happily married and you have all the money in the world. Now let's go to the mental part, the emotional part for me. Look at me now. I don't even understand the essence of God. Religion makes my head upside down. So when my 7-year-old asked me, Mommy, is it true that Jesus turned water to wine? I want to tell him that, well, actually, I think that thing is nonsense. But at the same time, I'm like, well, he turned it. Okay, so Mommy, means I want to turn water to wine and I want to be Superman, this Batman, this thing that used to fly. Because Jesus is a miraculous person. Means I want to be a miraculous person. I'm like, I don't know. So it takes a lot. It takes from you at the end of the day, bringing up a child in this type of society that does not have enough for the adults and much
That
more, the
much of
child
children.
that takes much more. No, Nigeria.
Wow. So this lady, she got pregnant at 16. The child is 7 now. So meaning she's like probably 23, 24 years old, but she's very mature for her age. But then I heard kids really, you know, they mature you very quickly. Um, yeah, but one thing though, I love her style. I love the cowrie earrings, the buttons, and also her bracelet. But yeah, so I'm just gonna end this right here, end this video right here. And because the last prompt, it's actually the only prompt whereby they all agreed and they all had to face reality about raising a child in Nigeria. Okay, so I just wanted to go to the comment section here. Let me just put myself there on the side. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. So before concluding this video, I just wanted to quickly go over the comment section here. So somebody said something about the lady saying something about abortion removing 5 years from your life, and there was a particular lady who had 20 abortions. And then someone else said something about the chicken eggs. Yeah, chicken eggs that we eat, they are unfertilized. They're not they're not the same eggs that can actually hatch into a chicken. So I think Nigeria, we need to do better with our education. Yeah, so I think this person said it right. So it's like it should be regulated. I think that's really what I stand on. Regulated, not so much legalized. So you can't use abortion as birth control because the lady with the cowrie earring, she said something about condom not being sweet and something. So it's like you cannot use abortion as birth control. If you don't want to use condom, which you should, especially if you're not married to the person, then you should, as the woman, because if you believe condom isn't sweet, then you should take on the responsibility of protecting yourself through the many contraceptive methods that are available to you. Really, like, what's wrong with you? Even Plan B medicine, like Plan B medicine, that shouldn't even be used as a form of birth control. Um, okay. Yeah, so somebody said something about lawyers or professionals being on the case. I think that also will actually make it, make the point more solid. Um, yeah, the girl with the yellow hair, she's not naive, but she's ignorant. She needs to gain more life experience and just be open to other people's opinion and educate herself before speaking. Yeah. But anyway, guys, so that's pretty much it for today's video, reaction video from Cruise TV about abortion or not. So I want to know your thoughts though in the comment section. Let's hear it. Ciao.